What's up, family? Trail here, and today is a very important day, which majority of Americans have been waiting for this. Today we are expected to hear from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell with the anticipation that he will be raising interest rates once again. As inflation remains at record highs, Powell believes that raising the rates every few months will cause the inflation to finally break lower. In addition, President Biden has a new plan in combating the high energy and gas prices in this country, in which he is threatening specific energy producers to make a change or else. And last but not least, we have new information from the IRS, which they have made some new changes that is going to put more money into the pockets of millions of Americans. This could be worth more than $1,000 in savings. I've got the details to share with you today. But in the meantime, hey, you already know what to do. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel as well as hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Now let's go ahead and start with the video. Well, guys, the day is here, and yes, Americans are excited. I mean, not excited about waiting to hear from the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell. We have seen the U.S. Treasury yields climb as investors continue to look forward to today's meeting, in which we are finally going to be hearing from the Fed Chairman, in which he is expected to go ahead and raise interest rates by 3/4 of a point and then signal whether or not he is going to slow the pace of raising the interest rates moving forward. Now, yes, guys, the Federal Reserve is expected to raise interest rates by 75 basis points sometime today, but also he is planning on signaling that it could begin to slow down the size of the rate hikes sometime in December, which is some good news, especially for the investors. Now, markets are also braced for the Fed to end rate hikes in March at a level of around 5%. And some of your professional investors out there are saying that, hey, a more hawkish Fed could trigger a violent reaction to the stock market. But yes, guys, the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is expected to sound somewhat hawkish in his briefing sometime today and emphasize that the Fed's goal is to crush inflation. However, so far, the particular moves that he has been making have not been working at all, guys. But anyways, guys, I don't know if this affects you, but it does affect a lot of Americans, especially those who were planning on buying homes. Yes, guys, we are now seeing that the home prices are now declining, as well as this is going to move into next year of 2023, according to the latest reports in regards to us entering into this recession. Now, the mortgage giant revises its forecast to reflect a lower than anticipated GDP output sometime this year. Now, yes, guys, in Fannie Mae's latest economics forecast, it confirmed that its belief that the housing market will tip the U.S. into a recession sometime early part of next year. The forecast also said that home prices could fall next year as well. So this could be some good news for those individuals that are trying to buy a home, because we have seen the prices of homes skyrocketing over the last 6 to 9 months. And now those prices could be coming back down once again. However, on the flip side, the interest rates that you have to buy one of these homes is back to some of the previous interest rates that we saw about 2 to 3 years ago. So they're not necessarily that bad, but they are a little bit higher than the lowest that we have seen over the past 3 to 6 months. But anyways, guys, this could be some good news to you, or it could not be some good news to you. But anyways, guys, that is just the latest information that we have in regards to this important meeting that we are going to hear from the Fed Chairman sometime today. Now, moving on, guys, hey, in regards to the high inflation cost, yes, guys, we have now heard the earnings reports from some of the top oil and energy producers in this country. And yes, the first one is known as BP, in which they have reported their quarterly profits of around $8.2 billion as oil majors post another round of bumper earnings. Yes, guys, the British energy major posted underlying replacement cost profit used as a proxy for net profit of around $8.2 billion for the 3 months through to the end of September. The world's largest oil and gas majors have reported bumper earnings in recent months, leading to renewed calls for higher taxes on record oil companies' profits. And yes, guys, in a statement from the CEO of BP, he said that, look, our job is to pay our taxes. Our job is to invest. Simple as that, guys. But they did not say anything about raising the prices against the American people. And that is exactly what they did in a time of in dire need. But anyways, guys, not only did BP report a huge earnings report, we've also have a huge earnings report from Exxon as well. Yes, guys, Exxon ended up racking up nearly $20 billion in the third quarter as profits, which is its most lucrative quarter ever. And yes, guys, obviously this was going to happen because we have seen gas prices reaching $6 and $7 in California. And yes, guys, we already know that Americans continue to need to drive everywhere because we just don't have EV cars as of yet, guys. So obviously people like Exxon as well as BP are going to be reporting huge earnings reports for the third quarter. Now, the question is, will they also report these high earnings for the fourth quarter as well? Well, guys, we don't know as of yet, but hey, the quarter just started about 32 days ago, so we'll just have to see exactly what they're going to report come sometime in January. But anyways, guys, Exxon said on Friday when they released their Q3 adjusted earnings and revenue that easily topped Wall Street's expectations, helped by higher oil prices and skyrocketing natural gas prices, and as well as raising its quarterly dividend by 3.4%. So now if you do want to go ahead and buy a little bit of Exxon shares in the stock market, hey, you could receive a dividend per quarter of around 91 cents per share that you actually own, guys, and that is considered a little bit of passive income. But anyways, guys, that is just the latest in regards to what we're dealing with these inflation prices right now, guys, in which these oil and natural gas companies are really enjoying it. But guess what? President Biden is not happy about this, and now he is putting out a little bit of threat towards these energy producers. Yes, guys, President Biden is now painting a picture that these oil firms, they are considered as war profiteers. Yes, guys, he is now talking about adding a windfall tax to these oil and energy producers. And yes, guys, we heard from President Biden earlier this week on Monday, in which he accused the oil companies of war profiteering as he raised the possibility of imposing a windfall tax on energy companies if they don't boost domestic production. Yes, guys, Biden in brief remarks criticized major oil companies for making record-setting profits while refusing to help lower prices at the gas pumps for the American people. Now, the president suggested that he will look to Congress to levy tax penalties on oil tax companies if, this is a big if, they don't begin to invest some of their profits in lowering costs for American consumers. The president issued the warning just days before the November 8th midterm elections. And yes, guys, he said in a statement that, look, my team will work with Congress to look at these options that are available to us and others. It's time for these companies, these oil companies, to stop war profiteering, meet their responsibilities in this country, and give the American peoples a break and still do very well in regards to their quarterly earnings. So anyways, guys, President Biden is taking aim at this particular one company, which is ExxonMobil, that reported around $20 billion. And yes, guys, he lashed out at the Irving, Texas headquartered company, ExxonMobil, for using record profits to provide shareholders with a hefty dividends and stock buybacks, but failing to invest in production improvements that would benefit consumers at the gas pumps. So yes, guys, what do you got to say about this? Do you believe in this? Do you agree with President Biden in which he is trying to go ahead and coerce Congress into implementing a windfall tax? Or do you agree with the option that he wants to put a more of a tax levy on these oil producers because they are not doing their job with in regards to the American people, but they are really just focused on how much money that they can make every single quarter and give it to their shareholders. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think about this in regards to President Biden taking this specific action in regards to these energy and oil producers in this country. Let me know down below in the comment section, guys. And then we also have some information from the FCC commissioner in which they are now urging the United States government to ban TikTok. Guys, this might affect millions, if not billions of Americans out there, because we know that millions of Americans out there spend at least 3 to 5 hours per day watching TikTok videos. Yes, guys. TikTok, which is owned by China's ByteDance, has hundreds of millions of users. And yes, the US should ban the video sharing app TikTok to protect the private data of American citizens. Federal Commissioner's Commission, which is the FCC, Commissioner Brendan Carr said on Tuesday. Carr, which is one of the 5 commissioners who led the FCC, argued in an interview with Axios that there is no way to have sufficient confidence that the Americans' data on this particular TikTok app is not being sent back to Beijing and Chinese Communist Party, or better known as CCP. TikTok is owned by the Chinese tech giant ByteDance, and Chinese law mandates that companies share their data with the CCP upon request. Now, TikTok is currently litigating with the United States Council on Foreign Investment to determine whether it is possible to divest the app from ByteDance and allow it to operate in the United States, something that the former President Donald Trump pursued before he left the White House. But anyways, guys, that is just the latest on the TikTok, which is the famous app that has pretty much taken all the other social media platforms by storm, because I believe, if not mistaken, that TikTok is now the 3rd or the 4th largest social media platform out there, and it only took them like 3 to 4 years to get there. But anyways, guys, it could be on the verge of getting banned altogether in the United States unless they figure out how to remove it from the ByteDance company, in which they can make it the headquarters in the United States, which would change some of the laws surrounding TikTok app. But anyways, guys, last but not least, we do have a bit of good news in regards to some stimulus checks, some stimulus update news. And that is because we just heard from the IRS, in which they have now released some inflation adjustments for next year. And yes, guys, here is exactly how it could impact you and your tax bill, if you file your taxes, of course. And yes, guys, the IRS is saying that, look, Americans could receive tax savings that could range between $400 and over $1,000, according to some experts. Now, it says that amid the high inflation and rising costs, Americans could be in store for a slight tax relief sometime next year. The Internal Revenue Service, or the IRS, announced the inflation-adjusted tax brackets earlier this month or last month, and the changes could mean that some will actually pay a smaller tax bill when they filed in 2023. Now, the IRS makes these particular adjustments every single year, but because of the high inflation, the adjustments are more significant this time around. And yes, guys, here is exactly how inflation will impact standard deductions in 2023, which all tax filers can claim unless they choose to itemize their deductions. Now, for example, married couples, the standard deduction will increase to $27,700, up from around $1,800 from 2022. And for single taxpayers and married individuals filing separately, the standard deduction will increase to $13,850, up $900 from 2022. And then for head of households, the standard deduction will be $20,800, which is up $1,400 from 2022. Now, the federal income tax brackets are tied to federal income tax rates, which are adjusted for inflation on a yearly basis. And according to the head of tax strategy at the April Tax Solutions, next year taxpayers may feel like they received a bit of a tax break, even though their taxable income essentially stays the same. In 2023, guys, even your paycheck should get a little bit fatter as withholding rates will be adjusted. So yes, guys, with these new inflation changes by the IRS, Americans could see up to $1,000 in tax savings next year, guys. So this is a little bit of good news because we are all struggling right now, guys. So anytime we see just a little bit of good news and hopefully a big set of good news, we definitely want to be excited and we definitely want to celebrate in the meantime. Now, if we could just get the president and Congress to go ahead and approve of some fourth stimulus checks, then we all can celebrate and sing Kumbaya. But anyways, guys, hey, I hope all of this information in this video was helpful to you today. Well, anyways, guys, hey, that's all I have for you today. But feel free to check out some of the items down below because they offer some great ways for you to support this channel, as well as some links that can offer you some free money, some free cash, as well as with Webull Investing app where you can receive 12 free stocks for free. But anyways, guys, hey, if you enjoyed this content today and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. It's totally free. And if you like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button for us. It really helps out this channel, as well as it tells YouTube to share this video with others. But anyways, guys, hey, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching, and I hope to see you on the next video. Peace.